Last night, the Hershey Bears had a chance to come back and held tight with the Stockton Heat for 3 periods, tied at 1, then going to 3 overtimes before the Heat were able to nail it home on a second goal by Jason 23. And they've now taken a 2-0 lead in this series. It's the Heat and the Bears, Game 3 tonight here on LeagueGaming.com and the YouTube channel. Hi everyone, T-Sibs with you again, and teams are getting ready now to start this game up. We were waiting to try and get online here until we knew the rosters were set, and so I quickly got set up to get this game going, and we will bring you this game live in a minute. Hopefully we will get Mikey D on with us to talk about this game coming up, but as you see, the two teams are getting together in the locker room, and we will be starting this one shortly. As you see the lineups, Moosepontamus back in net for the Bears with Hurt Time, which is actually Orioles, Fairman, and the Nightman, who has not played a regular season game for the Bears, but has played in the playoffs this season a couple of times and is now on the Bears roster for this game. And we will get started with this one momentarily as this Game 3 lineup is about ready to start up. And again, we thank Moosepontamus for providing a feed tonight for this game. And we will get listening to this one shortly as the two teams now getting ready to face off. And the Heat controlling. Puck flipped in, taken now by D-Mitch. Pass is intercepted, and now the Heat shot in the corner to Moose, but he's able to cover up and face off deep in the Hershey end as the Bears try and control it. Puck is loose, and now the Bears will control this one with the Nightman getting his action now going in this first game of the finals for him. Now controlling his Orioles, tries to get it around to D-Mitch at the point, but that one's broken up, and back the other way is the Heat. Pass in front is broken up, and the Bears will start back the other way. Now the Heat get it back on an intercept. Pass out front by Loops is broken up, and now the Bears will control again. Babada gets it up to Nightman. That one is broken up and coming back the other way on a breakaway. The Heat, Moose comes sliding out to make the play, and another big save out front. Moosepontamus, 2 good saves right there, thwarting a scoring attempt by the Heat early on in this one. Now a good pass in front and a quick goal by the Heat on this one, as D-Jax is able to put it home for the Heat, making it 1-0. Now an offside call is made. Good pass in front to D-Jax and by Wally on that one, and so the Heat strike first and quickly take the lead here in the first period. Just under 13 minutes, and now a long shot on the Heat net is a save, and now back out the other way. The Heat, the puck may be an icing, but no, it's too short. Now the Nightman trying to get something going. Puck knocked off his stick, but Orioles picks it up. He now comes in on a 2-on-1, blasts one wide, and back out of the zone again. Now the Bears start back out again with this one, and it is the Heat starting back up, back in the Bears zone. Flipped around, now back out to the point. In front there for Wally, but he's not able to get a hold of it. Now back the other way is the Nightman on a partial break. Can't get totally free, and that play is broken up nicely. Now a flip in by Babada on net goes wide. Now the Heat starting back. Good shot there quickly by D-Jax, and out front. Picked up. Tenure tries to flip it up, but broken up, and now coming the other way, D-Mitch. He's going to drive. Look for someone in front. He gets knocked down. A penalty is going to be called on the Heat. The Bears trying to make something happen, but they touch the puck, and The Heat will have to kill off a penalty here. They're up now 1-0 with 6 minutes, little less than 6 minutes left to go in the first period. We'll check after this period, see if we get Mikey D on here.
I'm here.
Mikey is there. Good, we got him back here. The Heat trying to control and kill the puck here as much as they can. Hershey on the power play. Coming up to a minute left in this man advantage for them. Pass in front, broken up. And now coming the other way, the Heat are able to flip it back down. Bears try to regroup now. 30 seconds on the power play. Another trip's going to get called. Puck comes all the way back to Moose. He has to push it aside. And the Bears will start out again. They're still going to have a one-man advantage, but the two-man opportunity is gone now for any of that to happen. As Moose comes out, an extra player comes on, but the Heat touch the puck, the whistle blows, and so the Bears again will get another power play. So Loops gets called for tripping, and the Bears will start out on this power play as the Nightman looks in front, gets Orioles. Orioles tries to flip it back to him. It's broken up nicely. D-Mitch gets it but can't keep it in. And now the Heat look to clear it out. Minute left to go in this power play. Bears trying to get something going here offensively. Babada to Orioles. Behind the net, tries to flip one out front, but Flyers is not budging on that play. Pass out in front, no one's there. Puck was tipped, but the Bears still able to get it back. Nightman with 8 seconds left to go on this penalty. Teams are now full strength. Orioles behind the net, looking to get something out front. Can't find any room. Heat covering up so well in front of their net right now. The Bears are not able to get any good opportunities. Face-off, almost controlled on a nice play there, but not able to get anything going. The Heat coming back. Now the Bears are going to get called for a trip, and they will finish out this period killing a penalty and start out the next period with one as well. Puck back out to the point. Good shot, deflection, but Moose was there for it, and the Heat not able to do anything in the final couple of seconds there as the penalty is going to carry over to the second period. Again, the Heat and the Bears, the Heat getting off to a quick 1-0 lead here in the first period on a very quick goal from some very nice passing in front. Wally over to D. Jackson for the goal on that one. 5-5 shots on goal for both teams. Looks like somebody had disconnected, and so this one's going to get started up again. Because of Moose's setup, I can't always see what players are still on the ice or not, so we will get a chance to look at that at some point. But as you see, 5 shots apiece. Time on attack is in favor of Hershey, but Stockton has had the one good opportunity, and that's gotten them where they are at this point. We'll get back to that in just a bit, but again, Mikey D joins us, and Mikey, first period, again, the Heat on attack, as they always are, constantly pushing the play, and able to find the Bears defense having a little issue trying to cover D. Jackson sitting over there just to the left of Moose, and any goalie who has a man to his left in the slot, low slot, uncovered, I mean, that's a recipe for disaster, and the Bears were not able to catch up to him quickly enough.
Yeah, those plays there, I mean, that's hellish for a goalie. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you're essentially left hung out to dry, and good luck stopping it.
Well, again, they're doing a restart here, and they're getting back in the locker room. We'll get to that, to this restart in a minute. First couple, I'll get your thoughts on the first couple of games here, Mike. What did you see in these first two games? What's the key to the Heat's success from your viewpoint?
Solid defense for the Heat, and I mean, they're relentless attack up front. I think they play a really aggressive game. They get solid goaltending every single game. They have good defense. I mean, top to bottom, they're a solid team and they're clicking right now. So they're tough to beat. Personally, I'd like to see it over tonight. That'd be kind of cool, a sweep for the finals. Like, has that ever happened? I'm not sure.
I haven't seen it.
But it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Something different.
Well, I tell you what.
Then we can
go ahead.
Get going for, get ready for the next season. Be done with this one.
Well, the timetable's not going to change no matter how quickly the series goes. So it's but I get your point. It can be tough to watch, and I've had those seasons for a couple of times where you're either in the first round or out, or you're not in it at all, and you seem to be waiting forever for the playoffs to be done. And certainly a lot of players out there with those sentiments in the shout box as well, Mike. So I'm not at all surprised to hear you say that. I think 95% of this league wants it to be over with already.
Yeah, it's pretty. I saw that a couple times too from other guys. Pretty funny, but I mean, it's good. It's good that everybody's looking forward to next season, and guys are hanging around and kind of seeing, consistency season to season with the same players, and that's what I mean. I like that part of it, getting to know guys and get chances to play with different people on different teams. And I mean, sometimes you end up with the same guy, maybe from one season to the next, but some consistency in the league, and like we've said a few times in your other shows, or talking outside of this, it's kind of starting to filter out and separate itself between the leagues, where you're seeing any team can win on any night, and the competition just gets better. So that's good for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this next season, with so many players now going to be eligible who play down in the CHL, to be eligible to play in the AHL, it's going to be a battle to have a chance to be able to get some time in an AHL team. We'll see how that all works out, but we'll get back to the action here as the Bears had a disconnect with Fairman, and so they're going to take here the penalty to start this period and give Stockton a man advantage, and so they will now take the face-off. And the Bears, actually, I guess they're going to have to take another one because there was a penalty already in the period, right? So there is a 5-on-3 now, legitimate 5-on-3 that the Heat are going to try and take advantage of here, and could really do some damage in this time period. Minute 20 left to go in the 5-on-3, and now they start back out. The Heat offsides, and that'll slow things down again. Bears win the faceoff, and D. Mitch flipping it all the way down. Play inside, good pass off to the right side, and good shot on Moose, but he's able to connect. D-Jax was in the crease there with Moose, got himself out of it. And now back the other way. The Heat need to start over again. 10 seconds left to go on the power play. The Bears have been able to do a pretty good job killing this off. And now trying to force something in the Heat zone. Mitch keeps it in, flips one on, but players broken up, and now coming back the other way are the Heat. Play broken up. Fairman tries to find the Nightman, but can't find him. Now D-Jax had it, but taken away by Orioles. Some neutral zone play now going back and forth. Nobody really controlling the momentum. Not in the best interest for the Bears for sure. Now a pass broken up and picked up by Loops. He's looking to get it back to the point. Struggles doing that. Now back in the corner, is it? Orioles has it, gets it up to Fairman. Can't quite get away there, but gets it back to Orioles. Shot on net. Puck is loose, and Nightman can't get it in as Flyers was sort of frozen. Had an opportunity but could not connect. A little bit too wide of an angle, and now the other way. Loops with it. Back in front, play broken up by D-Mitch. Now Loops gets it again, gets it across, and Moose is able to get it between the pads and hold on. A little bit defensive in this second period so far. Back to the point pass, broken up nicely by Fairman. Breaks up a shot by Biggie, and now back the other way. The Heat trying to get something going. Mitch throws one down the ice. It'll be an icing, and it'll go back into the Bears zone. D-Mitch trying to get it out. Not successful doing that. Finally, the Bears able to get it out. D-Mitch. A little bit of a tip there by Wally, able to slow things down. And again, face off just outside the Heat zone. Orioles flips one on net. Flyers hasn't had a lot of action, but he's been there and solid so far. Heat goaltending, certainly a big advantage for them. Good shot on Moose, but he's able to make a save. Now the puck in front dangerously, and no one there to connect for the Heat. Fairman flips it in. Nightman trying to catch up to it, but cannot do it. Cheating in is Babata, and now the puck gets past him. Slides on net. And now the Bears back out with it again. Momentum and any kind of semblance of connectivity between the forwards on the Heat, it just doesn't seem to be happening right now, Mikey. Nightman flips it in over the net. Fairman tries to get it there, but he cannot work it past Biggie. Now in front, Fairman, flip shot. Good opportunity on the backhand, but not able to put it home as Flyers was there. D-Mitch tries to keep it in, does. Nightman gets it over to Orioles. Still struggling with it. Orioles trying to get it to someone. Nightman could not pick it up behind the net. Now the Heat start back out again. Now one intercepted by Fairman. He's able to keep it in. Orioles to Fairman out front. Good pass. And a good opportunity. Maybe a little bit too close to Flyers. Not much you could do with it, but Fairman puts it on net. And Flyers holds. Heat able to clear it out off the faceoff, coming back the other way as Loops gets knocked hard off the puck by Orioles. Thrown in front, and Moose able to deflect it. Good opportunity there for Jackson, but he couldn't put it home, and now the Bears come back the other way. 10 seconds left in the second period. Puck flipped all the way down, and no more chances in this one. Second period is over, and we're still we're still at a 1-0 score in favor of the Heat. I believe we had 5 shots on goal last period. It looks like we have 5 and 5 again, if my numbers are correct, and they probably aren't. But we may have about 10 shots on goal for both teams, and that's about average of what you see in these games. It's a typical game right now with not much of a difference except for one very good opportunity in the first period, as Wally fed D. Jackson for the first and only goal of the game, giving the Heat the 1-0 lead. And we'll be getting to the third period here shortly. Third period starts with the Bears winning the faceoff, and Mitch dumps it in. Fairman finally gets control of it. Good shot pass back out to the point for Babata, who hits the post on his shot. First solidly good opportunity for the Bears. And we say this over and over again in these games. Teams may be used to playing a certain style and not use the forwards, but you've got to do something different if you can't get anything going. And now the Bears are trying whatever they can. Orioles in front, can't get a shot off. Heat back the other way, can't get the puck in the zone, and now Nightman tries to start out, gets it tipped off his stick, and the Bears are offside. Bears win the faceoff. Mitch gets it over to Orioles. Flips one on net. Nightman just a little too ahead of the play. And not able to connect on that rebound. He had a wide open net, but did not have an opportunity to get a good shot off. Now the other way. Good flip shot on net by Wally is pushed aside. Now the Heat get it back and come back the other way. Mitch looking to get it out for the Bears. Does so to Orioles. Now Fairman. Mitch puts one on net and hits the other post. Good opportunity. Good screening in front. Flyers did not have a good chance to see where that was going. Throwing in front again is Fairman, but not able to connect, and now the Heat come back the other way. Loops with a good opportunity. That looked like it was going to hit the back of the net, but it went just wide. Now the play is opening up just a little bit here. Bears trying to start back here. Another offside. The Heat are doing a hell of a job standing up any passes at the blue line. Now the Heat start back out with it. Again, another offside. The Bears struggling to get over that blue line without the puck getting knocked off their stick or an offside being called. Back in their zone again now. Under 9 minutes. Now Fairman gets a lead pass. Trying to get a bit of a lead on Wally, but can't do it. And now back the other way come the Heat. Flip one on net. Moose makes the save. Babada gets it over to Nightman. Tries to get it across to Fairman, who's a little bit ahead of the play. And now Fairman will try and lead it in. Throws it around the back. Nightman trying to get something out front. Can't do it. Orioles tries to help him out. But the Heat, good defense. Coming back the other way with the puck. Knocked off the stick. Now Orioles comes back. Cluster of players there. Not much to shoot at or go for. Orioles still trying to hold on to it. Now Fairman. Fairman back out front. Orioles. And an open net, but too sharp of an angle for Orioles to get a good shot off. And an offside again called, but maybe the best opportunity for the Bears so far in this game. We're down to 4:11 here in the third period. And the Bears looking very much needing to win this game and need a goal desperately at this point. Puck is not going to be an icing. And now a pass out front. Good save by Moose. He's able to knock off Jackson on that play. Now puck out in front again. And a loose one for Loops, who could not put it home. Moose with another good save. And Moose is keeping them in this game. 1:30 left to go here in the third period. And another offside. Hershey down to 1:21, needing a goal for a tie.
What's the score here, Sibs?
It's 1-0 Stockton at this point. 38 seconds left to go in the third. And the puck now in icing. It's going to go back into the Heat zone. Do the Bears call a timeout here? I'm thinking yes, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Last opportunity here. Fairman looking to get something to Orioles. Orioles out front to Nightman. Can't get a shot off. Orioles behind the Fairman with 2-1. Puck out in front. But they cannot put it in and cannot get a good shot on net. And that is how it ends. One goal in this game decides it. A 1-0 victory. A close game all the way through, but just not an opportunity. Too many good opportunities for the Bears. Shots on goal in that period, 9-8 for Stockton. They were pretty even overall throughout the game, but it just was not enough. And the Bears not able to pull out game number 3. And a tough loss by a Bears line that played a damn good game and a defense that played incredibly well one mistake, though, in a finals game, Mikey, and that's what it comes down to. And you're at a level of play now where one mistake is all it's needed for a team to win a game. And unfortunately, it was on the Bears tonight who, on that one play, just could not, do anything to help out Moose on that one play. But for the rest of the game, I mean, it was really a heck of a job by both teams defensively. I think we had in the high teens shots on goal for both teams. So, well played game all around. Both sides might have been a little tight in that second period. A lot of going between the blue lines, but the Bears again going up against an incredibly good Stockton team, but a Stockton defense that has just been lights out these first three games.
Yeah, I think that was a great game. The other games, all three games real good. Kind of could have gone either way. Great goaltending every single game here, especially that game. That was lights out goaltending. And then, I don't know, man. I'm looking at the lineup here, game 4. That's hard to bet against Stockton in this one. I mean, I know you're on their team, but I think she's over. It's not over till it's over, but they're going to have a hell of a time winning this game, I think.
Yeah, again, the Wild were in the same position, and certainly we all thought at that point it was going to be near impossible for them to have a chance. We were already talking about the following series coming up, but it just wasn't meant to be for them, and they took it to 7 games. It was a tough one, but certainly not something that we thought the Wild were able to come back from. As we've been saying all along, the Stockton Heat, after dealing with that, have to say to themselves, they know they're up 3-0. They've got to finish it off now in Game 4, and they can't take anything for granted. They can't think they're already about to raise the cup. They've got to move forward and play the game tough. And we'll see what happens in Game 4. If the Bears can steal one, that might swing some momentum a little bit their way, but I guess we have to see how that's going to run out.
Yeah, this will be a tough one. I mean, could see the victors crowned tonight.
Well, we're going to take a look at the one goal and actually a little bit of the play beforehand, because it was a bit of a break that started it out for the Stockton Heat. As you see Moose making a great save, another save off the rebound, and then the Heat setting up here. As you see now, Jack's backing up, heading over to his slot, backing up there for the pass, and a beautiful, beautiful pass over to D-Jax to score that goal, and a great play there, setting him up. It's fun to watch a good team as they're able to just go ahead and know where they need to be. Someone gets the puck, the winger gets the puck on the boards, the other winger knows that they have to be in a position to pick that one up and be ready for the play. And so hats off to Stockton for showing some amazing skill there and playing the game the way it's meant to be played, to get to know each other and know where you need to be, and know that when you are ready to make that pass, you know where your partner's going to be. Well, we're going to be getting to Game 2 in a little bit, but we've got some time in between, and we're going to attempt to get Biggie Biggs on here if he's got some time to talk to us, maybe even join us for this broadcast at all. And as he did last night with a nice job. Lineups, of course, are now in and locked in for the second game, Game 4 of the series. And we will take a look at those lineups in a little bit. But let me see what I could do for Biggs. I mean, what do you tell your team at this point, Mikey? If you're the GM of the Bears, what do you tell your guys now for a game like this?
Sorry, I'm here.
Okay.
Just got sidetracked here for a sec. I mean, there's not everybody knows what you got to do, and what they've done have gotten them this far. So it's not like they're doing anything wrong or anything like that. I mean, just keep doing what you do, and I mean, you need a little bit of luck on your side. At this point, and I mean, at this point, even in final series or like a conference finals, you need some of those EA bounces to go your way, and that's, I mean, they're so tight. That's what it, and in some cases, that's what it comes down to in some of these games.
Well, the stats for the game are in now. Again, a 1-0. That's nice to see the stats getting that quickly, considering all that has to happen when a game like this occurs. But the stats for the game are in. I'm going to take a look at what we wound up here with. Of course, Jackson, D. Jackson with the first goal and the only goal in this game from Wally and Tenure. That second goal was not overly apparent to the second assist. Sorry, not only overly apparent to me as to how that happened, but as you see, 14-13 shots on goal in favor of Stockton. A shutout there for Flyers. He's typically faced more shots than this at times, but he has again played another good game. He is another. He's another guy who is in there for net for these guys. They're strong between the pipes, and that can make any team just be doing incredibly well. So it's fun to watch this goaltending tandem play, and they have done a heck of a job so far in this one. As you see, Wally and Tenure, of course, the assists, and not much else really to talk about. Shots on goal are typical, pretty much average of what you'd see for a game. Time on attack, obviously the Bears with more time on attack here and had some more opportunities certainly late in the game, not able to connect. Both teams 0-2 on the power play. Face-offs won by the Bears, and so this game screams an incredibly close game, and 1-0 certainly is not a surprise in this one. The Heat again, Tenure and Biggie, two incredibly good defensemen. You're going to see two more on the side of the Heat in a little bit when we talk about Matthew and Pitt Penn's fan. Their defense up and down, just incredibly strong, and with that goaltending, that can make an offensive player force, and you hope that's not the case. But when you look at these lineups, you have to say, okay, it's really, what do you do? What are we going to game plan for this one? What are we going to do that might be different than what we've done in the first couple of games to try and beat this defense? And so far, the Bears have not been able to find a way with any of the three lines that they've played so far, and there have been three different lines, have not been able to find a way to really break the defense. One goal in the first two games and no goals in this one. That is not a typical output of a Bears offense, and that really speaks to how well team defense for Stockton has played in this series, and perhaps the best hockey they've played all playoffs have come in these first three games. And so we're going to get ready for this next game, and we're going to get Biggie on here in a second, give him a chance to talk to this game and what he saw out there on the ice, and what his guys are going to do for Game 4 in this series. And as soon as we get him hooked up, we will be talking to him, and hopefully he'll be able to join us for the entire game. Again, series now at 3-0 for the Stockton Heat. The Bears obviously not able to get much going offensively. At this point, they're going to have to go up with a, back to their first line, their 1A line, whatever you want to call it. and they're going to wind up starting some well-known names in this one. As we take a look at the starting lineups for this game number 4, second game tonight, for Stockton, Ryan R., user pick, and Pasta up front. Pitt Pens and Matthew at defense. Trash Clown back in net for this. And on the other side for the Bears, Nismo, Swagger, and Ethan, who were in game 2 last night. Hit and Joe Wink on D, and Moose back in net. Good solid D there for the Bears, but I don't know if the D has been that much of an issue considering the lack of goal scoring and a 1-0 loss in this game. 2-1 loss last night, and it's been more of an offensive struggle from what we could see for the Bears in this one. And now joining us is Biggs from the Stockton Heat, just in that 1-0 defensive gem for you guys. Congratulations on the Game 3 win. And you guys, again, the defense, now in 3 games, only giving up 2 goals to the Hershey Bears. And that has to be pretty much right on target with what you guys were hoping to get accomplished.
Yeah, I guess so. I was expecting more goals personally, but we got the taste of Moose tonight too, so I don't know. It was a nerve-wracking game, and it was tight. The Bears had their chances, and you could almost say we got a bit of luck on our side too towards the end of the game, but as a squad, we pulled through.
We were just talking earlier with Mikey about how, just one mistake in this series, in these games at this level, could be big. And D-Jax got himself open at a time where he's on the other side of the ice. He's waiting to see what happens with Wally controlling the puck and handling it. And as soon as Wally got control, Jax just set himself up nicely on the corner, and Wally knew where to hit him. And unfortunately, there really wasn't a bear there to take care of him. And just that quickly, you don't cover somebody in the flick of a second, you're giving up a goal. And that's that opportunity that your guys took advantage of. And, the one mistake the Bears made probably all night.
Yeah, we definitely took advantage of that. I think both teams had a few more opportunities that were probably caused by mistakes. Sometimes as a player you see those mistakes a bit more than a viewer, but a lot of times you're getting bailed out by your teammates. Like, for example, close to the end of the game there, Wally had a nice one-on-one versus Moose, and that could have been an easy 2-0. But Moose stepped up and bailed out his teammates right there. And anything like that can happen where, you just, if more than one person screws up, the puck's going in the net, but you got players backing each other up, playing as a team.
And some, again, you have you had a good line out there tonight, and you guys were certainly having a bit of a problem, as both offenses did. Certainly in the second period, a lot of between the blue line play. Was it just that good of defense being played, or did you see guys maybe tightening up a little bit with their puck handling?
I think people are getting nervous this late in the series and this late in the playoffs period, and you don't want to be that guy trying to do fancy stuff. Definitely good defense on both sides. You got good forecheckers pressuring the forwards coming in, which makes it easier on the defense to play as well. So it's definitely not easy for zone entry, and I don't know how the Bears feel about it, but a lot of Stockton doesn't like to dump the puck if they don't have to. So there's a lot of carrying the puck in or whatnot, and there was a lot of struggle that game, I would say, and it wasn't just in getting in the zone, but even the forecheckers on the defense. It was sometimes hard for both teams to get the puck out of the zone.
The series now at 3-0, and you guys have been here before, and like we discussed the other night, you know, if you get to this point, none of you are going to take this lightly. What were the immediate words right after this win? Did you guys talk about, okay, just got to stay focused, or what was the? Do you have any idea what the discussions going on for Game 4?
I haven't talked to the past the line. I just kind of came straight here. They're getting ready. We haven't had any communication with them. But as far as our line, to be honest, that was probably one of the, I guess, least exciting endings of a game. And it might have something to do with, you end the game in the second period of a second game. It's always a bit of a buzzkill when you quit out of a game. But I think generally from my line, there was a lot of disappointment within each other. And even though we won, I don't know, we're pretty hard on ourselves. But I'm sure the past line's been out practicing, and I'm sure they all watched the game too, and they had the chance to finish out the Wild last series in Game 4, and they didn't capitalize on that. And I'm really sure that they want to, out for vengeance and want to capitalize this time.
You get done with a game like that, and as you say, when it's that close the whole time, it's nerve-wracking the whole, the entire game. You can't feel comfortable unless you get several goals out, especially in the playoffs. And it's a real test, I think, at this point in the finals, where how you can hold on to your nerves while playing this game. And I think a lot of guys, including myself, and I've only played one in this final, are probably finding out for the first time, you know what? It's more nerve-wracking than I probably thought it was going to be, and a little more heightened awareness of everything going on than I figured. It's much different than a regular season game, at least to my perspective. What have you found out so far in playing these games?
Oh, they're definitely stressful. I'm a pretty influenced by stress kind of guy too. My solution's always been a beer or two before the game to calm me down. I know a lot of the guys on our team you hear Wally's pretty famous for it too. You hear him taking bong tokes before they got face-offs and stuff. So I'm sure all the guys got their little rituals to calm themselves down. And it's always nice to have party presence too. Someone who sets the mood in the party, because nothing's worse than being stressed out and then there being negativity going on, right? We have definitely veterans too, like we've mentioned before on the show, of people we have Xbox players who've played in playoffs there. Both Mathwat and I have made it to the Stanley Cup Finals and won in these past 3 seasons in the NHL. So we got a bit of experience as far as keeping your composure. And I think a few of the lines in Stockton have felt pressure too, because especially as we've built this, I don't know what you want to call it, bandwagon, there has been definitely a lot of pressure on us.
Well, this is a point where you guys can close it out, and the Bears certainly aren't, just by looking into our own team chat, these guys are still ready to play. No one's giving up. They really want to do what they can to make this an interesting series. I think maybe that's part of what can be a little bit embarrassing for a team at this point, and maybe the Wild fell into this as well, is that you're down 3-0 in, for them in the semifinals, for us now in the finals, and people are expecting a better matchup than this, and it isn't happening. And I want to believe that maybe that's some of why the Wild found some determination and some will to go out there and just make it happen for 3 games and get themselves back in it and make it a series that they can be proud of walking away from. And I think that might be the key to what happens next. Do the Bears dig that up and decide that they want to have a better showing of this series and not go down 4 straight? I wonder how much human pride plays into this right now for the Bears as they go into Game 4.
It's definitely tough because you need great leadership at this point. You need, those top few players, motivating your team to all have the same idea, same goal. If you have only one line or only a few players per line that are willing, that still want to play those 4 more games and who aren't ready to give up this playoff run yet, you can't have a portion of the team. You got to have the whole team thinking the same way and ready to play as hard as one another. And that, I think that's the most crucial thing at this point for them. Like, they can't, all it takes is one guy to botch it for everyone else, right? I feel kind of bad for the Bears in the sense because everyone before the playoffs even started were calling the Western Conference Finals the winner of that's going to take it home, and I'm not calling any shots right now. This playoff run is far from over. We have no idea what's left out of the Bears coming in this next game, but it's a lot of pressure on them. But they do have the advantage of being the underdogs here.
And that, again, that's do they feel pressure because they need to win one, or do they not feel any pressure at all because no one's expecting them to come back at any point? And again, maybe the Wild felt like, hey, we have nothing to lose now. Let's just go out there with some reckless abandon and play the game. And maybe that'll loosen up these guys a little bit in Game 4. I have no idea, but no way of knowing until we get into the game. But I think something I've learned about Stockton over the last several weeks of covering you guys in the playoffs is that there is, despite what happened with Iowa, there really is no matter-of-fact game. Even though you guys struggled in games 4, 5, and 6, you still weren't going out there and throwing the sticks out and hoping for the best. You guys were still going out there and playing hard. I think that was obvious in the game. So I expect the same thing to happen. It's just a question of do the Bears have anything along the lines of what the Wild were able to do, and come up with something that they can maybe find a way to steal a game or two. And again, we have to wait to see how that happens. But what's not in question, I think, is your club's will to want to win each and every game you go out and play. And I think that's been evident all season long with the Heat.
I think there's a lot of support from the Stockton. I gotta personally say that it's the best group of guys I've ever played with, and that's not just me talking. Everyone, we got a very large percentage of the team always watching the games, always supporting one another, win or loss, and it's you win when you win a game. It's not, it's not meaningless. You got your whole team spamming you with messages, going, "Good job!" Like last night, our Skype chat was absolutely lit for the Ajax line, and that's huge. And I don't know if the Bears have that. I don't know what kind of relationship you guys hold together, and I know that I've seen all 3 forward lines for the Bears right now, and they're all strong lines. I don't know. I still haven't gotten a chance to analyze their defense too much, but I wouldn't count them out yet.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes before the next game starts. We've talked a lot about the first 3 games, and obviously you were on yesterday for Game 2. What do you like so far? I want you to talk a little bit about the opposition. Despite having a 3-0 lead on them in games, what have you noticed about the Bears that you didn't necessarily know after the 2 regular season games?
I didn't realize how strong their forwards were defensively. I think each of the 3 games were all very, very close games and fairly low scoring, with the exception of maybe the first, which I would only blame that on late goals due to risky playing from the Bears trying to, get that tying goal. And that happens a lot. And that's happened a lot to us, period, in the playoffs. But they've all kept our lines, to low scoring and even low scoring opportunities. And as a core unit, the Bears play very well defensively, which doesn't surprise me that they've made it here, especially going through teams like Syracuse, who had some very strong offensive forces. Like when you see that Lobo Dangles game that was 2-1,
Right.
and then you have the Bears shutting them down, even though it's a loss, and you're shutting down the top scorer in the entire league, even though he may be a poser. You have incredible team defense, and defense is not only the two defenders, it's all three forwards that help, especially the center and your goaltender, and you guys have the whole package. And when you play good defense, sometimes all you need are those garbage goals to win games and then shut another team down.
Yeah, I think I have been drawing what I kind of feel is a lot of similarities between the two clubs. Again, the forward lines who play well together, who have a good chemistry, who come back and play defense, defensive pairings that are, again, you're not that concerned about any of the pairings, and good goaltending. You don't lose much, too much, going to your next goaltender, and I think maybe Stockton may have a little bit of an edge on talent in those areas. The Bears aren't necessarily that far behind, and I think those, like you said, those first three games are pretty close. I mean, it's a 3-0 lead, but it's the last two have been 1-goal games, and the first one, was a 1-goal game until, like you said, late in the game where we took some chances, and the Heat not just waited for mistakes, but made those mistakes happen and capitalized on it. And so I and then with good management along the way, I think I see a lot of similarities in these two teams, and I think that's probably a big reason why we're both here is that you've got lines who found chemistry pretty much right away. Our third line on the Bears took some time to gel and finally got things going. Still have some trouble now. We're playing with someone we just called up on that third line, and Nightman played well today. He had his opportunities and helped make opportunities. So I don't think we dropped off much there at all. But I see a lot of things very much the same on both sides, and I think it all just goes to team attitude, how they're managed, how guys work to get chemistry together. And I think both teams have done that well. And now watching you guys play and talking to you and Loops and Post and some of the other guys on the team, you guys put a lot of time into making sure that you understand what you're going to do on the ice, and that's a big part. I've been with teams that make no effort to do that, and that makes them horrible.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. I've seen more dedication on this team than any NHL team I've played on. And that's one of the main reasons why I wish I could stay down here, too. I don't know what's going to happen next year, but just as a core, I find AHL just, the players don't have the talent that the NHL players have, but they have the dedication to want to build chemistry with one another. And you play with a good, solid chemistry line, and we've seen this in the past. And I'll even throw out the example of the Monsters out there. You just throw a bunch of good players together and expect them to do well against teams that might not have the best thumbs, but they have just more chemistry, and you're gonna look better. I also wanted to kind of mention too that I feel like if you were to swap the rosters, so say that the Hershey Bears were now the Stockton Heat with the Hershey Bears rosters, and vice versa, I think the Bears would be a much better team. They would have a harder season to play, like a season that plays more often against, the harder West. And then if they had made it to the finals where Stockton is now, I think they'd be more prepared for this series. The Bears hadn't been challenged to their potential, I don't think. They went to a game maybe in the first series that was kind of, I even heard you say once, I think you guys might not even been playing your best hockey yet then, and you guys weren't challenged yet, and then you're thrown into against the Stockton Heat, who's not only had 2 series that go to Game 7, but against the Wild, who was the President Trophy winner. We just might have come in this series with a better mindset, and it's not what we want to see. We want to see the best hockey out of you guys. We know you guys are capable of taking this to 7.
Yeah, what the point that you made is a really interesting one, and sure, everyone's saying or before the series started, or before the series against Syracuse started, the Bears haven't faced really good matchups yet, so it's been easy for them. Well, yeah, but to your point, if that's what you have to deal with, then there's not much we could do about it. It's actually detrimental for us because we're not sharpening our skills. When you play better teams, and this goes with any sport, and man, I could draw that parallel to golf easily. If I'm playing with a bunch of hackers, I'm going to play like a hacker. Whenever I play with better players, my golf game steps up a big deal, and that that even happened with hockey when I played a long time ago. You play against better players, you play with better players, and it works. It helps you work your talent up to a different level, and that goes with this game too. It absolutely goes that way, and you're so right about that. I think it does a good deal that you're able to push against better teams that you're really being beaten up on, and you guys had a great division to play in, and it really taught you an awful lot and made you hardened for this series to the point where you took on a couple of big teams and beat them, and the Bears played some good competition, but when we did come up against the West, hell, when we came up against the Crunch late in the season, we couldn't stop Lobo in that game. Once we got a chance to look at him and really figure out what he's doing lately, we found a way to shut him down for the one game we played. So it's experience, it's sharpening your skills, and what you say is absolutely right. When you're able to play better teams like that over and over again, you're much more battle tested than if you're playing teams that you're not getting a huge challenge from, and you've got a 15, 20-point lead in the standings, and what are you playing for at that point? And I think that might have gotten us. I don't want to say it got us lazy, but it wasn't challenging us. Let's put it that way.
That's interesting too, because you guys have been putting up a challenge. No game here has been easy for anyone, and if you guys were to able to step up one more notch, what comes out of that? Are you guys blowing us out? Are you guys barely beating us? Or is it still not enough? Right? We don't really know, and it's a nice hypothetical. It's a nice hypothetical question to be asking here, but we're not going to be able to see it unless the Bears take these 3 games that they just lost and go, this isn't enough. We've every series, we've had to overcome some type of challenge, but this time we got to dig even deeper. And the question is Game 4 where they decide to step their game up that much better?
Well, typical Joe LG, who will who might get loud in the shout box. Your typical guy may say, if the Bears lose this one, they just got blown out the series. Look at these games. Watch them again. If you're going to tell me that the Bears got blown out, you don't know hockey. The Heat have played tremendously to keep the Bears at bay, and you give the Heat all the credit in the world to keep them to 2 goals in 3 games. But these games have been close, and if anyone thinks that the Heat have, that the Bears just laid down and got trashed every game, you're just not watching these games the way you should. You guys have had to play incredibly well to get the opportunities that you've had and to keep the Bears down. The Bears are playing great. It's just that the Heat are half a step ahead and are able to take those games, very close games, and turn the Bears away. But if anybody categorizes this series as a blowout, I think that's unfair to both teams. Quite honestly, it's unfair to the Bears for what they've put up, and it's unfair to the Heat for how hard they've had to work to get to this point.
This game's a one game series basically. That's the way I see it. You looking at you're expecting your each team's top line to win, 2 games, and the Bears have in 3 games seen Stockton Heat's top line twice. And that's all they have for the series unless it goes to game 7, right? And the Bears they've had all their lines play. So 2 lines have experienced that top line. And with the exception of that game 2 could have gone either way. It could be 2-1, and it's a whole other series. It's one puck bounce in game 2 that changes this entire series, this entire momentum. And really, if you think about it, because of that game 2, it allows Stockton to put the pressure on the Bears by throwing out that top line out again, that undefeated line. You're not expecting to beat it, and it's intimidating to play against it. Not that the Bears played poorly, but they got put in a tough situation because of a 1-goal game that went to triple overtime that could have gone either way.
Well, I know the Bears are looking to get their group together in the dressing room, so we're just waiting for them to get set up in the matchup room, and hopefully we'll get this game together shortly. The Bears will have to send the challenge out, so they are maneuvering to get that taken care of. We'll get this game underway in a little bit, but it's. I think you can go back and look at these last couple of games. And this one, Game 3 may not have been the overly exciting match. It's funny, it's still a 1-goal game, but yesterday's game just had a lot more action going on and a lot more work by the defense and the goaltenders to stop some really good opportunities. A lot of the defense played in Game 3 tonight was between the blue lines. You guys stopped so many plays at the blue line with poke checks, forcing off sides because of that, just making forwards veer away, forcing an offside. It was ridiculous how many whistles blown against the Bears for not being onside, and that's where I see you guys defensively winning that game, whereas Game 2 it was really about being at the right place at the right time and stopping good opportunities.
Yeah, a lot of that stopping at the blue line comes with chemistry and trust in one another. Your forecheckers force their forwards to come into the zone quick and not allow them to slowly come in the zone, which allows the defense to pressure them. One of the forwards on the other side is going to become too quick, or you're going to poke it so they're all crossing the blue line, or you got your forward pinching, cutting off that angle so you can hit the defense. It's all a line offense, and I think that just comes down to experience. Like the difference in lines and strategy too. Like I've tried to teach a lot of the defense that on our team, and they've gotten a lot better at it, and especially gaining Tenor on my side. Since Tenor has joined our team as a defensive pair, we've lost a single game, which was actually versus the Wild in the regular season. And it's incredible the influence we have on each other to cause defensive plays like that. Sometimes it's the defense pinching the centerman coming in from the opposition as well. You poke and you force him to draw his stick to one side, which allows the other D to be poking the puck off his stick. It's just learning how one another plays. Sometimes just the team trap or the team defensive in the zone, breaking into the zone it works well.
The Bears sent out the invite, and they're waiting for the Heat to show up here. So hopefully we get this game going momentarily.
I think our boys are having dressing room issues right now.
Okay. And I know that in the last game, Fairman lagged out in the first period. That's what caused the restart. He was having internet issues as well and was able to finish the game out, but definitely having some problems. And don't know if it's a local thing or if it's an EA or PS4 thing, but we'll we'll see how this goes. So yeah, we may be a little delayed getting this one started, and as we said, Ryan, user pick, and Pasta up front for the Stockton Heat. Pitt Pens and Matthew on defense, and Trash Clown back in net for Stockton. For the Bears, it's Bob Swagger at center, Short Shady on left, and Ethan on the right wing. Hit playing lefty, Joe Wink at right, and Moose back in net again. No surprise there. I always hold out hope that maybe I play another game, but in this situation, you've got to go with the hot goaltender as much as you can, and no surprise that Moose playing both tonight. That's happened most of the playoffs, and now we if we get past this one, then we decide where T-Sibs plays next, and that could be fun. So we'll see how that goes, but need to get past Game 4 first, and hopefully we get that one started. You still nervous waiting to watch this game?
Nerves have kind of passed by me. I'm just trying to get my team in order here. I think Loops is gonna step in. The guys can't. It looks like they can't get their challenge DR to unfreeze or something.
Yeah, we'll love to see how this all works out with the next iteration of this game, because certainly the game, I think, has been more consistently available without so many problems as we dealt with it with 16. But there have been spurts here and there where some of this has been a problem. Now they've shown up here in the locker room with 43 seconds left to go. And so we'll get you right there to the locker room and show you what's going on here. And so these teams are getting ready now to play this game, and we'll get started with the call here shortly.
1 sec, I gotta take this.
All right. And the game is now about ready to start. Game 4 of the finals here. Bears and the Heat face off in the first period is underway. Heat controlling.
What's up?
Flipping around. Now trying to get the puck in front, and Moose is able to hold on to the rebound. Shot in front, and good save by Moose. Puck almost rolling in there, but now back the other way. Shady trying to get one on net, not able to. Now puck played around again, and now out of the zone, coming back the other way. And a good play, good try by User, but not able to get a good shot on net. And now thrown back out by the Bears. Now back in. Heat, good check there on the boards by Hit. Still trying to get the puck out. Now finally Shady starts out with it. Flips it into the right corner. And the Heat able to break it out right away. Pass. Good passing in front. Moose is there. And he'll hold on to it as Pasta, a bit of a give and go, but was able to come back with it and get a good shot off. Face off deep in the Bears zone. Now taken out. Ethan now controlling on the left side. Now Shady trying to find Swagger in front, but not able to. He's been pretty well covered so far early in this game. Now coming back the other way, flipping it in is Ryan. Pasta gets a give and go again. Good save in front by Moose. Now Ethan trying to start back out. Swagger throws it in. Ethan, Swagger throws one on net. Good save by Trash Clown. holds his post, and play is stopped. Face off again. We're past the 10-minute mark of the first period. And Joe Wink intercepts and starts out, gets it to Shady. He's got a little bit of a break with Bobby. Also had Ethan there, but could not get a pass. Good defensive play by Matthew, and the Heat start back the other way. Approaching the 8-minute mark. The Heat bringing in the zone. Good defensive play there. Ethan coming back to help out. Now back to the point. Pitt gets one on net, partially blocked, and now Shady back the other way. Swagger. Circling. Getting hit twice, still holding on to the puck. Gets it back for Ethan. Back up in front for Bobby, but not able to get a good opportunity there. Swagger shot backhander, saved by Trash Clown, following that puck well. And now coming back the other way is Pasta. Looking, has a partial 2-on-1, a good shot by Joe Wink, stopping that pass out. Now pass back to Pasta, but he's not able to get off a good shot, and Ethan throws it in. 4 minutes left to go in the first. Good hitting on the boards from both sides in this one. Much livelier game than we saw earlier. Matthew gets a shot off, partially blocked, and Pasta picks it up. Now puck taken out by the Bears. Shady. Shot on net. And the puck is loose. Good shot by Hit to get it on net. It sat in the paint, but nobody was able to slam it home for the Bears. Pasta looking to line up somebody in front. Decides to put it on net. And Moose able to hold on to it. 6.8 left to go in the first period. No score. Quick face-off as the Bears able to get it out. As the period draws to a close. A lot of action, a lot of good hitting, some good opportunities for both teams. And again, our first period with no score, Bears and Heat. We'll take a look at the shots on goal shortly, but again, not much of an opportunity. Too many good opportunities, but a few for the Heat out front. Some good passing, setting up Pasta. A couple of give and goes with him and user pick to set some things up in front for him, but Bears defense and of course Moose able to be there for the plays. 5 shots for the Heat, 3 for the Bears, as you see. Time on attack slightly ahead for the Heat, and for the most part, pretty even game at this point. Again, you've got 2 tremendous goalies in net. Good defense with Matthew, who has not lost a playoff game yet, in a game 4 here. Hershey with maybe arguably the best D combo, possibly. Certainly one of the best. And of course Moose in net. So we've got a lot of good defense on both sides. We expect this to be a low-scoring affair when the Heat come out. 3-on-2 and a good opportunity there for user, but not able to get it home. Back up top to Pitt. Wraps it around the boards. Puck taken away. Nice play by Hit. And now Ethan starting the other way. He's double teamed. Tries to maneuver the puck. Gets it back. Now got Bobby. Flips one over to Hit, who tries to get one on net but can't do it. Ethan with an opportunity on the corner of the net but can't connect. Now the Heat back the other way. Offsides as the puck came out of the zone on that play back. Face off out of the zone. And now the Bears trying to get something going. Shady. Still controlling. Getting the puck knocked off his stick. Now Ethan has it. Flips one in and just over the net. Had the corner but could not connect. Another shot. And that one goes over the other corner of the net. A couple of good chances there for the Bears, but not able to connect. Now the Heat start out the other way. Good tip by Shady. Pasta gets it back again now. Back to the point. Flipped it on net. Good opportunity, but a good save by Moose being there. Couple of good blocks now by the Bears, and they start back the other way. Good team defense. Ethan flips one on. Shady could not get the rebound, and Trash is able to kick it back out of the zone. Now Pasta again. Good play by Ethan. The Bears forwards coming back, helping out tremendously on defense in this one. Now coming in from the other side. Good flip in on net, but Moose is able to hold on to it and get off to the corner. Trouble getting it out of the zone. Now the Heat will wrap it around again. Shady looking to control and move it out. 9 minutes left to go in the second period here. And the Bears finally do get it out of the zone, and now Swagger controls. Pass attempt in front. Mathieu knocks him off it. Heat control coming back the other way. Again, Pasta starting out here over the blue line. Pass in front again, another give and go. Executing that play well. Another good opportunity, but another good save and partial block up front.
Those tracks that really well.
Goggles or Swagger. Bears trying to move it, get it going behind the net, get something moving. And the Heat flip it back out and start back out the other end on the Bears. Joe Wink able to get it out of the zone. Good flip over to Ethan. And Shady able to control it now. Gets one on net. Good save by Trash. Heat back the other way. It's been a lot of back and forth. A lot of good quick play like we saw in the second game. Good pass out front, but a good save on Pasta by Moose. Heat win the faceoff. Good passing and the shot saved by Moose. Puck was loose, but they're able to clear it out. Now another play in front for Pasta, but he's not able to connect. And the Bears start out again. Minute in the second period now, and play still in the Heat zone. Finally able to get it out and move the puck up again. And there, Moose screened on a nice shot. Good pass off, and a nice shot by Pasta, who was trailing the play a little bit and found the open corner. And that's going to make logging the assists hard. We do know Pasta gets credit for the goal. And 1956, the goal by Pasta to make it 1-0 here after 2. And again, Stockton finding an opportunity there and taking advantage of it. Shots on goal, Stockton 11-5 over the Hershey Bears. And again, Bears have moved the puck in fairly well to this point, Biggs, but not getting a lot of shots on goal. And what they do get on net, Trash Clown's right there. The defense clears out any rebound opportunities. And we're seeing a lot of what we saw in Game 2.
I think the only way to score on these goalies is lots of traffic in front of net. You're open for tips or screens.
Underway here in the third period. And the Hershey Bears on a lifeline here. One more period, and they need to get on the board to tie this one up. Otherwise, the Heat will claim the Calder Cup. Icing on the Bears, and so Stockton will get a deep in the offensive zone faceoff. And this one won by the Bears. And Shady starting out on the left side. Swagger and Ethan back there trying to steal the puck, but not able to. And now Ryan comes up with it. Again, another good give and go opportunity, but The shot partially blocked by Hit, and the Bears come out the other way. Offsides on the play, and they'll start this one all over again. Bears now. Ethan flips one on net. Clown is there to knock it away, and the Heat come back. Again, not a good opportunity, not a second opportunity for the Bears on a rebound. It's cleared right out. Shot in front, good deflection, but it hits the post. As User had an opportunity there, got a good deflection, but could not deflect it in the net. Hits the post, and the Bears still just one down at this point. Again, more good hitting. Ethan gets it in front, had Shady open, and could not connect with the puck. Pasta. Still holding the puck. Now Hit able to connect and steal the puck and bring it out. A little too far for Ethan, and now the Heat will regroup and come back out again. Flipping around the boards, Pasta picks it up, Hit. Had it momentarily, and now the puck out front and walking right in. User pick without much hesitation there. Pasta on the assist of this one.
As a defense there, I wouldn't be letting him walk out in front of my goalie like that.
So now it's a 2-goal deficit for the Hershey Bears, and they need one quick. Another shot on net, and almost another good opportunity there on a pickup. Swagger not able to get it out. It's kicked back into the Bears zone. And now Ethan will start up with it again. Shady onside. Tries to find Swagger, but that play broken up nicely there. And Pasta, who made that play, now breaks out with it. Starts the other way. Bears get it back, and now Swagger throws one across the net. Joe Wing tries to flip one on, but not able to. Swagger trying to steal the puck, can't do it, and the Heat start back the other way. Good shot on net, but Moose is there to save it. Good opportunity for the Heat there to really put it away. Another shot on goal. Trash Clown able to deflect it away. Another opportunity, the Bears not able to connect. We're down to 1:30 left in the third period. And the chances are fleeting at this point. 1 minute in the third period, and that much time for the Heat to hold on and take the Calder Cup in 4. Shot on Moose, another stave. Heat cannot get it out of their own zone. Penalty is going to be upcoming on the Bears, and this will all but seal it for the Stockton Heat. Come on a break and get a shot off on Moose, but not able to get one past him. A 4-minute penalty, but that's all going to be moot here, as the Bears need an absolute miracle that probably is not going to come. Shot on net, another good save by Moose. As we count down the seconds, and now a shot deflection and another goal for the Heat, who are about ready to celebrate the Calder Cup in a 4-game sweep of the Hershey Bears. And that looked like, was that Pitt Penn's?
Left side or right side?
I think it was on the left side.
Left side would have been Pitt.
Yeah, I think we're going to give him the credit for this goal, but it is now a 3-0 lead. The last seconds counting down as the Stockton Heat get one more opportunity. And a save by Moose, but it is all over. The Stockton Heat are the Season 4 AHL PSN Calder Cup champions, beating the Hershey Bears in 4 games straight and finishing out what has been a tremendous season for this Stockton team. Congratulations to you, Biggie, and the rest of your teammates. This has been a pretty amazing playoffs for you guys, and boy, you put an exclamation point on your playoff showing in this season, and man, it's got to make all you guys pretty proud how this has all turned out.
I'm sure the boys are super excited right now. Especially the guys just finishing the game. They got their revenge for closing out a series, and this time it wasn't just a series, it's the finals. So I don't know, each and every one of the players deserve it.
Well, good season on both parts for both of these teams, but obviously the Hershey Bears not going out the way they wanted to, but your team, Stockton, just an amazing showing tonight. And wow, that if anyone had any questions about whether or not Texas or Iowa might have been better, look, this just beating them wasn't. If that wasn't enough, what they've done to Hershey in this series has to tell you that Stockton absolutely deserved this, earned it full force, and put an exclamation point. Like I said, a real solid look at what we can do with this team, kind of thing. And I can't imagine just how happy the rest of your teammates are, and Loop certainly for all he's had to do, and for your entire management team. I mean, you guys have just had a tremendous season, and from start to finish, it's a long stretch, but you guys seem to do it right from day one, and it paid off.
We've had our ups and downs too throughout the season. We made some few minor adjustments, but everyone, like I said earlier before this game, everyone here in our group chat had the same mentality. Everyone wanted it as badly as the next guy, so it showed off in our 16 win series here in the playoffs.
Well, I'm not going to let you hang on here too long. I know you're going to want to talk to your teammates, and I know Loops doesn't like to come on, so I'd love to get him on here right now, but I know he's not going to be he's not one who's necessarily going to want to come on and talk about this. I'm sure he's just glad it's over at this point.
Yeah, I think some of the boys are glad it's over. I think there's been a lot of talk too about not coming back for season 5, waiting for NHL 18. There's been frustration not only for the losing teams, but even for us. It's I think some people are excited to see the season to be over, though.
Well, it's it's been a hell of a season, obviously, for you guys. Congratulations again for the win, and what a tremendous run for you guys in the playoffs. You didn't look like you hit any boulders in the road during the season, and in the playoffs, certainly, having to deal with Iowa and their comeback, but just withstanding all of that, and finally just winning this whole thing. I don't know how much better you can ask for the season to go, for the way it went for you guys, and I don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get to be on a team like this with this kind of leadership and this type of total team play. But I think you almost have to. What would be good is you could use this team as a model for other players that you wind up playing with down the road. This is how you run a team, and this is how you play game in and game out, and run the marathon of the season where you take your lumps and you come back and play the next game. And you guys were the epitome of that. You just went on to the next game, and you didn't worry about what happened last one. And, you just kept on running to the finish line, and you guys did it and made it look fairly easy, quite honestly.
One thing I'd like to mention, too, is I'd love to see Calgary win the NHL Stanley Cup. It'd be very interesting to see both organizations take home a cup towards the end of the playoffs. I don't know if you've been around or ever seen that. I don't know if any of the Xbox has ever seen it, but it's definitely a special opportunity we have going on. We've had great help from our management up there too, and we've had a few guys that had the opportunity to play quite a few games up there as well.
Yeah, it's I don't believe we've seen that in the PSN side yet in any of the seasons, in the first three. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I don't think both teams in the organization have won like that. So it's if that happens, that says a lot from top to bottom about how well the entire organization was run, and we have to give, at least for the Hershey Bears, we have to give the Capitals a lot of credit. They didn't want us to take players off our roster if they didn't need to. They were very conscious of that. They tried to let us keep this team together and run for it. They knew we had something special, and they did a nice job in supporting us. And just want to thank the Capitals management from season 4 for looking out for us and giving us the opportunity. And obviously, you guys are getting it on your end and from your owner and your NHL management. And when you get that kind of support, all the way from top to bottom, it makes the job a lot easier.
I think I'm going to speak for all the boys at Stockton here, and I do want to tell all the Bears players to keep their heads high. Like we said earlier, this series with one puck bounce isn't a sweep, and it's forget even that. With one puck bounce, we're talking probably potential for Game 7, and I didn't see any weak Moose. I keep doing that. Eh? any weak Hershey players out there, and it's nice to see that you guys had a great season as well, and you took it on quite well with pride and definitely great sportsmanship throughout the entire season. I've seen some pretty nasty people out there after losses in the Cupbooks, and I got to give Hershey credit.
We dragged Moose on here. He wanted to say a few words too, and I wanted him to be able to talk to you before you take off here. Moose, listen, congratulations for a hell of a season, and we had some tough games in this short series, and I think we both felt the wrath of the Stockton offense and their ability to make plays. And you were diving all over the ice, my friend, but it was a tough task being a goaltender against the Stockton Heat this series.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely gave us the hardest challenge. It was just an absolutely fantastic series. There was really no team besides ourselves deserving of the cup than Stockton could have been. You have possibly the second greatest goalie tandem with Trash Can and Flyers besides me and you, Sibs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like we've said. It's a tough order to not get past just their goaltenders in Trash and Flyers, but their defense is just tremendous all year long. And when you're a goaltender on the other end, and I think Moose and I can speak towards this, Biggs, it's when you know that you're going that's what's on the other end of the ice that you have to contest with. You feel like you've got to really go out of your way to play your best game. And maybe it helps, but I also think it puts a lot of pressure on us as goaltenders on the other side. And maybe Moose can agree or not agree. But that's certainly how I felt, even in the one game that I played, that that Trash Clown's on the other side. That a good defense is playing with him. You need to play an amazing game. And you did a few times, Moose, and it just didn't work out for us, and that just talks to how good they are.
Yeah, Flyers and Trash Clown are probably some of the biggest presence as goalies when they're on the other side of the ice. It kind of just gets me that gut feeling. It's like, if I let a goal in, are we actually going to be able to get one in on them?
Right.
Kind of just has that gut feeling all throughout the game. Just, it's just like when you get a goal on one of those guys, it's either a really nice play or is an EA goal, because those guys don't let anything in.
We could say the same thing about you there too, buddy.
I don't know about that.
If you look at Game 3 there, you caused our
Boy.
offense to struggle quite a bit, and the only thing we got into was a nice, one mistake by your team, and then we just got I would even say a lucky positioning from a turnover, and it just puts you in a tough situation. But we've had to try all sorts of type of different offense to get around you, and Sibs too. Sibs played quite a good game in Game 1 there, until maybe the end of the game where, like I was telling him, it might have been left to dry a bit from risky plays to try and catch up in that 2-1 lead. It just, it's a lot of it comes down to team efforts, and as far as you guys play in your role, both of you guys played tremendous goaltending throughout the series.
Thanks, Biggs. We
Thank
appreciate it. And listen, congratulations again. Tell the boys we said the same from Moose and Sibs, and we think highly of you guys, and we also kind of glad that we played you because we've gotten to know you guys over the last few weeks and talked a lot in the shout box, and I think the amount of respect that we have for each other, for both teams, is apparent, and hope you guys know that from us.
Thanks for having me there.
Well said. Well said. One more thing I have to say about vibes. You might have misunderstood our contract, but I said if Stockton gets shutouts for the rest of the series, then you have to buy me NHL 18.
Well, they did. They did.
I think Vibes might have read that wrong from what he said in the shout box. I mean,
yeah.
He still owes me that since technically I called it.
You're not getting anything out of Vibes. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Biggs, we'll let you go. Thanks again, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome.
Take it easy.
Cheers, boys.
All right, take it easy.
Thanks. Good series.
Biggie Biggs, again, playing in Game 3 tonight. Another great game. Wow, Moose, we as a team, the Bears did what they could, and our offense tried to do what they could. Can't really blame them. We saw them playing their game, but their defense and their goaltending, I mean, you really have to catch them with some tremendously accurate and quick passes to even have a chance to score against them. 2 goals in 4 games is just not our game, and it's not because our offense wasn't trying their damnedest. Their defense just when we were able to get a shot on goal, there was not a rebound to be had, and that's a big part of the game too. It's very few of those were even possible. I mean, we've seen our forward lines light up under the team with second chances, but the Heat did not give that often to us in the last few games, and their defense and their goaltending, to me, won these games for them, and I'll be interested to see who Loops names as his Cup Final MVP. The winning GM gets to pick that, but you have to go maybe with a goaltender, maybe with a defender who played most of those games, because I think that's a big reason why they won this one.
I mean, yeah, definitely. It's always difficult to choose in between all those, basically just a airtight defense. Like, I feel like our offense, I felt like they played fantastically. Like, everyone knew where each other was. It's just when we got good quality shots, the goalie, their great goaltending stopped it. And then other than that, their airtight defense didn't let us get off a good shot. So it was really just an all-around it was just all around we were fucked kind of type deal. So, I mean, it's definitely fresh. I'm just glad I had my mic on mute those games. It's definitely just like watching it and like you're just kind of like chilling back in the crease. Like, you can't do anything. Mm-hmm. But it's like, even when they make such good plays, it's like, oh, that has to be a goal. It either gets poke checked away or Trash Clown / Flyers just saves it. And it's kind of just like, well, there goes all my hopes and dreams.
Well, I think it's fun. We did cover a lot of these games during the playoffs of Stockton, and we certainly saw them shut down teams. We saw the Iowa Wild struggle against them for the first three big time, and then able to find something. Maybe partially Stockton thinking they had it in the bag and relaxed a little bit too much, but when they needed to, they came right back and won that 1-7. They're just a tremendously solid team, top to bottom. I don't know if I've seen a roster as stacked as theirs, and I thought ours might have been the best one that I'd seen in a long time. But the Heat also just incredibly top to bottom, every line, both goalies. They could put anybody out, obviously, and beat anybody at any time. And they put out all their lines in 4 games and beat us in all 4 and kept us to 2 goals. And that says just how good they are from 1 to 17 in this team.
Yeah, I mean, I really have nothing to add there. Like, you basically said it all. They basically all have top A lines going out there every game from their quote-unquote whatever their third line was. I didn't even know. It was just, they play fantastic. Like, the chemistry is amazing. Like, they're just moving well so together. Like, move as a unit. Everyone knows where everyone is. Like, it's just some of the best hockey I've ever got my ass kicked by. So, I mean, it was I wouldn't, borderline an honor to play versus such a good team like that. I feel like it really tested like my movements and just like see how basically it got to the point where let's see how many goals I can limit them to. And it was just a game to game. It was just such a close series, even though, yes, it was a sweep. Just game to game, like the triple overtime, the 1-goal games, 0 game, it was close to basically till the final minute. And it was just, it's the farthest I've ever gotten in the playoffs. Last year I got it was just such a good final, and it was a great series to play versus such great players.
Well, let's spend a few minutes to talk about the Hershey Bears. We wanted to give Stockton their proper due here, but tremendous season. I had no clue I was being bid on by the Bears. Apparently Bob Swagger saw me in a club game a couple of days before bidding. Didn't know much about me. Decided to put me on the short list, and I think Mafia thought he was crazy. But incredibly happy to come back to the Bears and to see this team get all the way to the finals. Would have been nice to have won this, but just thrilled to be on this team. Not much in the way of any kind of garbage we had to deal with as a team all season. Bob and Mafia doing a great job and really keeping this team together, showing tremendous leadership. And after a while, we just showed great chemistry and it really worked out. We had a little issue, I think, early on with the third line, but that wound up gelling nicely and wound up being a very competitive line. They played Game 3 tonight. 1-0 with that defense and their defense and the line we were going against. That line, just that third line has to be commended for the way they played tonight. Fairman, Orioles, and even Nightman, who just gets thrown into this and looks like he's been playing with this line all year long. So, just great dedication by all the guys on our team, and I'm incredibly proud to be, part of the season 4 team, and just, happy and that I got to play with all these guys, including you, my friend.
Thanks, as you too. I just think it was. This is going to be the first time I think I've ever said it, but I know I've typed it twice. But, I mean, I just feel like putting a team together. I had some experience in the first half of the season with Bobby as a GM with the Condors. And then coming into next season, I was just like, I know who Bobby is. Mm-hmm. Like I know he's a solid, he's a decent GM. No, he's a fantastic GM. Like, I mean, just the lines he put together, he kind of going off the books to who to draft, like with you, like basically just picked you off a whim, and whether you give yourself credit or not, you played an absolutely fantastic regular season and playoffs. I mean, whether you want to give yourself credit or not, I'll give it to you.
I never do, so you know that.
Yeah, I'll give my.
Hey, look, I gotta tell you, I am incredibly happy with the season I had, but I'm always one to say, hey, I know what always frustrated me as a goalie in the past 3 seasons, and that is when you have decent defensive players, but they don't play their position well, or they decide to take it upon their own to start being part of the offense, and they leave you hanging. I've had a lot of that in the first 3 seasons, and this is the first season I can say that I had tremendous confidence in this defense and in the forwards coming back and helping out, and that made me more confident in the net, and it definitely made me a better player. So, you know, I played better in the game, and I think in the second season in 17, you know, certainly I think I've done a pretty good job mastering a good chunk of this game in this position, but I don't ever want to sell my defenders short, because that's a big reason why I was successful this season.
I mean, yeah, same with me. I feel like that's with every goalie. Like, you can say that, like, yeah, I make some good saves, but I mean, it's really when you have the defense covering the main. I don't know. It's just every team that I feel like with Bobby, he builds it with the goalie's defense, and then he just is able to put the offense together. I mean, both last year on the Reigns/Condors, and then this year, it's just I've always had a good defense in front of me, and it's just really, like, that's basically why I guess you could say my stats are above average, and it's just really all credits due to the defense. I feel when a goalie has good stats, like, not, of course the goalie has a big part to do with that, but when you have people like Hit, Dimich, Bobata, especially with Bobata, what was that, like the first half of the season he was playing on the opposite side?
Yeah,
I think that was the case.
Yeah.
Like, still just absolutely fantastic. Like, most to all credits due to them when it comes to low scoring games and stuff like that.
Well, you faced 19 shots in that last game, and again, did a tremendous job in net for this entire playoffs. And listen, I had a lot of fun talking back and forth with you this season, my friend. If we get a chance to play again next season together, that would be nice. But if not, we will stay in touch, and you'll be part of all the interviewing we do during the season. So, listen, good job, buddy. You did a great job, and I know you want to be perfect, but you were about as perfect as a human can be in this series, and congratulations on the top play that you put in all year.
Thanks, Hibbs. Great season to you, too.
All right. I'm going to close this one out, Moose, and say so long to everybody. Want to thank everyone for tuning into the games this year and Thursday night hockey, and, of course, during the playoffs. And we've had a lot of fun bringing these games to you. For Moose here tonight, for Biggs joining me from Stockton, for Vibes, Mikey D, MGM, Dead Soul, and many others who joined the broadcast, the live game broadcast all season long. I want to say thank you for helping us out and for bringing these games to everyone. And we want to thank you, the audience, for tuning in. That's it for live hockey for Season 4 of AHL PSN. We will talk to you sometime beginning of the season with more live games, and this Sunday we'll wrap up the weekly show this Sunday afternoon at 2 with PSN this week. Until then, this is T-Sib saying so long, and we'll talk to you this weekend. And again, congratulations to the Stockton Heat, the Calder Cup champs.